What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for clicking on the video. Thank you for your support. First things first, make sure you like, subscribe down below. We are on the road to, I think we're at 200-ish subs. We're trying to get to 500. Actually trying to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. So if you could, make sure you subscribe, share, help me. I love you. Let's get into it. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about core essentials. Most of you are familiar with them. If you are not, welcome to the video. So core essentials, as most of you know, makes ratchet style EDC belts. They're kind of the OG of the ratchet system. They had their belt, and then I think Next Belt somewhat followed in their tracks and kind of made their version. So I wanted to quickly, not review, give you kind of our first impressions of the core belt. I currently use a Next Belt, but I reached out to Core, spoke to them. Shout out to Steve. If you see this, Steve, you're the man, brother. I appreciate all your help and support. They sent me out one of their belts for review. So that's what we're doing today. They also sent me a trucker hat because I'm a huge hat fan. My hairline's kind of receding, so I gotta hide it while you can. Somewhere, I don't have it. So again, Steve, thank you for the hat as well, brother. I really needed one and you saved my life. But anyways, let's get into it. I'm going to pop this thing open. I'm going to quickly change the view here and then we'll jump straight into it. All right, so we are on the kitchen island, so let's get into it. I haven't opened this yet. That's not true. Yes, I have. I've peeked in. I've only peeked in, I promise. This is how you get it in the mail, essentially, in a bigger box. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we are working with. So shout out to Core Essentials. Steve, dude, you're the man. Thanks for all your help and support. I greatly appreciate the little care package you sent me. First things first, you get this Core Essentials QR code. If you want, go ahead and scan that. Yeah, done, cool, good. You get essentially a instruction manual and kind of guide on how to size, kind of some instructions overall. So if you want to hold that up for you, if you want to pause and read, please go ahead and do so. Cool, good enough. Awesome. So let's get to the goodies, shall we? First things first, I know they use a sleeve essentially, or a locker, so to speak, for the kind of butt end or excess of your belt. So that comes in a little baggie, right? Pretty nice. Let's squeeze it. These are the little bolts that screw into the back of the buckle. As you can see there, these are just extras. I would assume, right, with a little Allen wrench to make sure you have just an extra set, because I will show you my next belt and they are gone. So these are actually a lifesaver because, right, how do you get more of these if you lose them, right? So I'll put that to the side. This is the actual buckle that you receive from Core Essentials. This is just their standard EDC belt buckle. I know they have different options for like a more fancy setup, like a leather-ish looking belt setup, or like classy, right? This is just their hell yeah brother tactical belt buckle. This is their actual belt. It comes wrapped in this kind of plastic material. Let me whip it out of here and then we'll kind of touch on it. All that noise. So again, for those that don't really know, or for those that do know, I'll open it up here. This is how Core kind of made their name, right? They make a ratchet system belt setup, and I'll try to show you here. So this is their belt buckle. So when you're inserting the belt, right, obviously you size it for your size. No shit, you're sizing it for your size. Once it gets to the point to where everything's sized up, and let's say you're getting up in the morning or going to work, you slide the tip in. Sorry, my apologies. You slide this, right, the belt into the buckle, and then you get a audible and very noticeable click. I'll try to show you. A little belt ASMR for you. Here you go. And then it ratchets in, right, essentially into place, and then it ain't going nowhere, right? I believe they're rated for like 7.5 or 8 pounds, which is significant. I think most setups probably running around 2.5 to 3 pounds, if I am not mistaken. And then once you have it on, it'll look something like this. Pretty sleek. It's pretty hard to know it's a gun belt if someone were to see it, in my opinion. I know the belt buckle on this is significantly smaller than my next belt. I'm not knocking them. It does make a difference because sometimes, and I'll kind of try to show you here, when you're running a setup, like my T-Rex here, I'll try to kind of slip it in, pause to show you. You know, I'll put one in there. We will slide one on here, right? This is how it sits. For example, that is pretty perfect, if I don't say so myself. Hopefully you can see that nicely. The belt buckle fits in between the clips. Ideally, that's how you want to run it, in my opinion at least. Sometimes if the belt buckle is too large, you have to push it off to the side where the belt buckle will be over on this end. I think running it center line, right, is the most ideal. For example, my next belt, I cannot run it in between the clips. I have to run it to the side. Again, not a big deal, but it's one of the things to keep in consideration. I know next belt makes like that an appendix carry belt buckle, but I purchased mine in store and they didn't have those options available. So again, from the factory, ever you buy this setup, local, online, hell, Amazon if they have it, it will fit most appendix rigs like such. I will even test it while we are here. If I can get this thing off while I'm behind the camera. I will even test on a smaller setup like my 365 XL. We'll see if that works just fine. Let me just quickly put this down, flip this in so you guys can see. It's a little harder than I thought doing behind the camera, but we're fine. Everything's fine. And look, even that, right? This is a smaller rig than my 320, which is a compact setup, right? This is a subcompact, and it still fits perfectly fine between the clips of the actual holster. All right, so let me put this to the side because it's making a lot of noise. What's the benefit of having a EDC belt, right? Well, here, I'll show you. There's no give to it, right? So the weight of the belt will tend to, obviously this is a kind of a bad test, but it'll support the weight of your gear. Most belts would flop or bend, or this would fall over, and you don't really want that. You need and want some rigidity in your EDC belt to make sure that things are in place. The only way to have consistency is to ensure that things are always going to be where they are. And the next belt, in this case, like I just showed you, gives you that. It keeps things locked in. It supports its own weight. It supports the weight of your rig and your gun. This is obviously both loaded. There's no mag here, but there's plenty of weight on this thing. And you can tell even there, right, it holds itself up. That's the key component. Most belts, if you run like a leather belt, I first ran like a 511 tactical belt, so to speak. And it worked fine. It didn't work nearly as well as this thing does, or this kind of belt setup. I'll be doing a video soon, essentially testing the limits of the buckle just for my own curiosity. So stay tuned for that. So far, very impressed, very pleased. The quality of the actual belt seems great. The ratchet, let me pull this off real quick. The ratchets on the back, or where the belt buckle ratchets in, so to speak, also seem to be very, very rugged. All right, I'll give you kind of a close up here if I can. The actual like lining and the material used, I could probably pull the hell out of this right now if I really wanted to. And I'm sure that would be more than like 8 pounds of rating on the actual buckle, and I'm sure it would be fine. It might skip a beat or two, but I don't see that being a problem because there's so many segments of adjustment that, you know, worst case, if something were to pull here or like snap, you could just shift it down one, and I doubt you'd even notice. I adjust my belt so many times during the day when I'm getting into the car, out of the car, to where you get in, you loosen, you get out, you ratchet, and you're good to go, right? So just something to keep in mind. That is that for now. Also in the box, I believe this is they put optional, which is, it's kind of cute. Thanks for that, Steve, I appreciate it. I'm pretty sure this is their belt hanger, where, again, it's your belt hanger, right? It's pretty straightforward there, so let's just get that. And then I could have been mistaken, but I believe this is the actual sleeve for the excess of your belt, right? Like I mentioned, once you adjust, at some point, the tip of the belt, let me move this over actually so we can discuss. Let me fold this here and put it right in the middle just for some nice marketing, if you know what I mean. So shout out to Core Essentials one more time. But, so right, you ratchet in the morning, at night, whatever you're doing, you're set, right? This is your adjustment point. Well, this will tend to hang over, right? Ideally, you want to adjust it to where there's not too much hangover. But, right, you lose weight, you gain weight, things change, different pants, different shorts, whatever the case is. There's always going to be something different. So with this little excess, what you can do is you slide this onto this end initially. You slide this in, and you leave this on your belt. Then, once you ratchet your belt, the excess gets slid into the little sleeve, as I'm poorly showing you here. So that way there's no, a little bit there, but you get the point, right? There's little to no excess for something to catch on or hang or create extra footprint of your actual belt. So I actually like that a lot. My other belts don't have that, so it's kind of smart. Listen, what you could probably even do, and I don't think they recommend this, but here's just a kind of a weird idea. You could even, if you wanted to, stash some kind of EDC blade in here that could clip onto here with like something like an ulti clip if it's small enough. Hell, you might even be able to stash a magazine in here. Now I am just curious. So you could shove an extra mag and keep it right at your strong side or weak side, or your small your back, whatever you're trying to do. Because I doubt this will go anywhere. Yeah. So again, is it intended for that? I doubt it, but you gotta stay creative, right? So let me take you back to our other review, and then we will discuss more on the belt. All right, so it might look a little different. Some things got shifted around here to make space, but so far, first impressions, I am pretty happy, pretty pleased. Again, the quality and the finish of the actual belt and the ratchet on the inside, or the ratchet system, seems super solid. My biggest takeaway is actually the size of the belt buckle. It is significantly smaller than my current setup, which makes me very happy. I have a lot of time sometimes, depending on what I'm carrying, my belt loop will tend to sit all the way on the side because it's too large to fit in the middle of my rig or my appendix holster. So this being small enough to where I don't have to shift my belt around, given different holsters, is actually really, really nice. Again, I think it's a great belt so far. Right, first impressions seem pretty good in my opinion. I haven't worn it yet. I'm actually going to set the thing up tomorrow because I think it's like 2 in the morning right now, and run it for the next month or so. I will give you guys a update in a couple of weeks. I'm a little behind, so keep an eye out for that. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're also going to put it up against my next belt, which is, I believe, their biggest competitor in the market right now, just to see how they stack up. I know Core is the OG of ratchet belts. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys carry. Do you guys use a EDC belt? Do you guys carry in like a standard leather belt or cloth belt? I am very curious to know. Once I discovered EDC belts, especially Core and their ratchet system, it's kind of a no-brainer. They're super fairly priced. The quality seems to be really, really good. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's worth taking a look at, especially if you everyday carry like I think most of us here do. So let me know again what you guys think down below. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for all of your support. I love if you would subscribe if you like the video to help me get to my goal of 1,000 subs by December. We are on a mission, boys. We will get there eventually. So again, thank you again so much. I will keep you guys posted on this EDC belt. And then I'll talk to you guys soon. Catch you guys in next week's episode probably. So cheers. See you guys.